Hello again. Now we're going to go over the questions and answers from Part B of the excerpt from After the Race. Question number 6. Which statement summarizes the text? Hopefully the key word you underlined or highlighted in the question was summarizes. When going through the answer choices, try to eliminate ones that you know are not correct. Alright, so A, 5 men after dining together decide to finally settle their differences in a meeting on a boat. No, they did not try to settle their differences. They were drinking and having a good old time. B, a trip on a train and an evening on a boat help 5 friends celebrate the memories of their past. No, they really don't have a past together. They're just meeting pretty much now. And we don't see anything about the train really going into detail. And again, the evening on the boat was just a brief part of the story. C, despite their differences, the 5 men spend an evening of revelry, enjoying each other's company. Revelry could be drinking, dancing, hanging out. So C's looking pretty good for me right now. And D, an impassioned speech made by a young man to his friends sways their opinions over to his way of thinking. Can't be D, because while Jimmy does give a speech, he doesn't even remember what he says. So the answer that is the best answer is going to be C. Despite their differences, the 5 men spend an evening of revelry, enjoying each other's company. This question number 6 comes from Reading Literature Standard number 2. Question 7. How does paragraph 9 affect the rest of the text? In the video, remember, I described paragraph 9 as paragraph 2 because it was the second paragraph of the excerpt, but it was really paragraph 9. In this paragraph, we talked about Jimmy and Ruth getting into it because of their different political views. Right? So it is not A. It describes the way that young men originally met and become friends. As I just said, they originally meet, in Ruth and Jimmy's case, in the context of the story. So there was no original other than what we've read. B, it highlights the varied backgrounds of the characters, revealing underlying discord. That's looking pretty good. Save that one right now. C, it introduces the idea that Jimmy's financial status has a greater impact than he thought. No, but it's been talking about his money all the way through, and he knows that it gets him places that other people don't have open to them because they don't have the money that he has. Or D, it emphasizes the different reactions each man had to the race they had attended earlier. Honestly, other than the title and the first couple of paragraphs and the fact that the race brings these people together, the race is not mentioned at any other point. So it's not D, it's not C, it's not A. The correct answer is B. It highlights the varied backgrounds. So Jimmy is Irish and Ruth is English of the characters, revealing underlying discord. And the underlying discord is that big conflict that has been running underneath the story throughout parts A and B. This question comes from Standard RL.3. Question number 8. Same paragraph. In paragraph 9, what does the word spurious reveal about Villona's attitude toward French painters? Alright, so in answering this one, we really need to go back to paragraph 9. And we're going to look for the sentence, which is, the resonant voice of the Hungarian was about to prevail in ridicule of the spurious lutes of the romantic painters when Seguin shepherded his party into politics. Alright, so our key word that we're looking for is spurious. And to use our context clues, we're going to look at the words around it. So we've read the sentence, and this word comes up, ridicule. You know ridicule is to make fun of something or to show what's wrong with it. So it's got connotations that you're not going to like what's coming next. Alright, and so spurious lutes of the romantic painters. So something's going on that makes Villanova, the Hungarian, not like the romantic painters. So when we go back to our answer choices and we look, we see that he finds their talents to be admirable and worthy of respect. No, because we don't ridicule things we think are admirable or worthy of respect. We see he prefers them over any other painters of that time period. No, because if his preference he wouldn't ridicule. C, he thinks they are unnecessarily pretentious and melodramatic. All right, there's a clue, unnecessarily pretentious. So he thinks they're too good. He thinks that they think that they're too good for everybody else. Or D, he seeks to obtain several different pieces from their collection. All right, so if he wanted to ridicule it, he wouldn't try to own it. So not D. So we've crossed out A, B, and D, so that leaves us with C. He thinks they are unnecessarily pretentious and melodramatic. So spurious means false or fake and not as good as they think they are. So that's why the answer for A is C. He thinks they are unnecessarily pretentious and melodramatic, and that comes from standard L.4.A. Next question, number 9. How does the author create tension in the text? You probably know this one without even looking at the answer choices. The tension that we've talked about is the tension between the Irish wanting independence and the English not wanting Ireland to have independence. All right, so let's start at the bottom and go up. D, Farley makes fun of Jimmy's speech. No, that is directly contradicted by the text because after the speech it says that Farley clapped Jimmy on the back and laughed loudly. So in this case, Jimmy did not see that as making fun of his speech, so it's not D. C, Jimmy and his father begin arguing about the dinner. They did not argue at the dinner. In fact, his dad was really excited because to him the dinner showed that they had arrived in society. B, Vallona's ridicule of English art gets out of hand. And that goes back to the last question when he was ridiculing the spurious romantic painters. No, it doesn't get out of hand because Seguin moves them on to the next conversation about politics, which is A, when we get the tension. Jimmy and Ruth have different political views. Jimmy's Irish, Ruth is English, different political views about Irish independence. The answer is A, and it comes from standard RL.3. Question number 10. What can be inferred about Jimmy's relationship with the other men? A, he finds them amusing and charming, but immature. We really don't have evidence of that in the text. If anything, I would say that Jimmy is the one who's really immature in the text because he keeps being concerned about how other people are perceiving him or about his appearance, rather than really being concerned with his actions and who he truly is inside. B, he thinks befriending them will be good for his reputation. We have seen that all through parts A and part B about how being around Seguin, in his belief, will make him more popular. So hold on to B for right now. C, he is jealous of their money and the respect they command. Remember, for an answer to be true, both things have to be correct. He is not jealous of their money. Vallona he calls poor, and the other ones need him for his money. So he's definitely not jealous of their money. Right? And D, he wants to imitate them, but cannot rationalize the guilt he feels. I don't think he feels any guilt. So no to D, no to C, no to A. The answer is B. He thinks befriending these people will be good for his reputation. RL.1. And the final question for our story after the race is what can be inferred from the text. Remember, with an inference, there's not going to be a direct answer that you can put your finger on in the text, but it's going to be what you assume from your reading and putting everything together. So if we look at our answer choices, let's start by eliminating some. All right, A, Jimmy is a hard worker who has spent his life and money trying to help others. I think one thing that we cannot say about Jimmy is that he is a hard worker. So please eliminate A. B, he's made several attempts to be a leader within his group of friends without success. I don't know if we've had a chance to see that one way or the other, so I'm going to say probably not, but we'll hold on to it for right now. All right, we're going to keep going. C, Jimmy is well respected by the townspeople for his family's generous contributions to political figures. again, I don't think so. I mean, people talk to him, but we haven't seen anything about his family's generous contributions to political figures. If anything, they are holding on to their money so that they can stay wealthy. So I think we can mark out C, definitely mark out A. So down between B and D, Jimmy has been accepted into high society circles because of his acquaintances, not his own accomplishments. And there we go. I think we've got our winner on that one because Jimmy hasn't accomplished anything. He has friends because he has money, and sometimes his friends open doors for him. So our answer is D. Jimmy has been accepted into high society circles because of his acquaintances, not his own accomplishments. And this comes from Standard RL.1. Please make sure that you have filled out your item analysis form using the answers that you recorded when you took the test on Mastery Connect, and make sure you've put a check in the whether you got it correct or an X in the whether you got it incorrect column. And please be honest, because this is going to help kind of predict how you're going to do on the exam and how much you need to study between now and next week. All right, thank you.